All right, so I want to welcome you into week 2. Lots of work, right? As I said. Um, and this week there might be a little more time in with documentaries, okay? So I just kind of want to address certain things about this week to help you kind of navigate through the workload. So first of all, and forgive me if I repeat myself, I can't remember always what I've said in the past, but when it comes to reading the text, I don't want you to get overly bogged down to where you're trying to like read everything so thoroughly. I want you to read, and I don't discourage it if that's your drive, but I just want to like kind of point out that I think that you can get a lot of the information, looking at my lectures and watching the documentaries and having made yourself familiar with the content overall of the chapters, I think is the best approach to my class, and being realistic about what you can do, because it is a lot of work, right? You'll notice that I gave you quite a bit, my normal set of kind of lectures for chapter 16, and then 17 I don't have lectures. I just have a documentary for you to watch. The reason is that as I kind of feel like chapter 17 was a little redundant, or I didn't really feel like there was a lot of new information that I could give you, other than some details about urbanization that, I mean, it's not that it's not important material in that chapter. It's just that I kind of feel like I would be repeating a lot of same things that I kind of discussed in the first chapter. And sometimes I have a lot of documentaries for you to watch in this one. I am obsessed with documentaries myself. When I was going to college, there was not YouTube that gave you so much access to a wide range of high quality documentaries, and sometimes talking about subjects that are not talked about that much. And I think that we all agree that visualization is really important, especially, and this is especially how we are now in modern times. We really thrive off that kind of digital technological representation of things. We almost expect it. That can be bad at times, but I think in the case of history, I think that it's great. The documentary on Carnegie is really, really good in terms of giving us an idea or an insight into the contradictions of Carnegie. And these two documentaries, clips, I think will be really sufficient to give you a feel for him, and kind of using him as kind of a symbolic representation of some of the other big name characters, which I don't really go over. And then I have the documentary on the Haymarket riot, and then one on the Gilded Age. You may not find these documentaries very exciting, and in terms of their, they were made a while back. They have a kind of 80s feel, and you might kind of feel like, ugh. But I really want to encourage you to pay close attention to both of them, because even if this history isn't something that you're interested in, I'm not saying that you're not, but I feel like a lot of students find labor history and this kind of period something that's just, it doesn't a lot of times stick. It can seem a little dry. On the other hand, many of you might be reading this and feeling really emotional and really angry because it hits a nerve on conditions that are taking place now. I repeat this a lot through my these lectures, but my God, I cannot think of a section that is more relevant to the time that we're living in now. I mean, in terms of the fact of the issue of wealth disparity in this country, and the place of unions and workers' rights, and what's the role of business in our society, and corruption. I mean, so many people are angry right now. I mean, that's one thing that a Trump voter and a Bernie Sanders voter, and I keep mentioning this, but this is an unprecedented election, and that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party I think, miscalculated how dissatisfied so many people are with the mainstream. And you see many people coming out shocking the establishment. Now, part of this is also, the media thriving on some things, but ultimately, I think that we should be able to tap in quite well to some of the sentiments that are taking place during this time period. Now, what I like about the documentary on the Gilded Age is, as I mentioned on the top, of the video, I wrote that this kind of covers everything. So it shows you from the beginning the relationship that the expansion into the West and the relationship that Native Americans have to deal with this expansionism on the Western part, the issue of railroads and industrialization, and then the development of New York and this high-class culture, the corruption of politics, and the issue of immigration. Bam, 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 bam. Just covers it so perfectly. And I think that you'll really be rewarded for paying attention and watching the entire thing. Okay. Now on the assignments, what I just want to clarify, I say write a one-page paper on about a summarizing chapter 17. Take a deep breath real quick. So I want to actually clarify that you can utilize the video as well and my notes. In other words, because I don't do lectures though. Oh, excuse me, I don't do the lectures right for 17. I want you to just kind of articulate what you think the overall message of 17 is. Okay. In other words, you're a footnote maker. You don't have to write a lot, but I want you to think about what the Gilded Age is, and you can use the documentary notes that you have as well. Okay. If there's any question about that, let me know. And then I talk about the issue of immigration, which is kind of touched upon indirectly in many of the documentaries and the lectures. I simply want you to kind of take that bit that I talked about and write your opinion, relating it, with a kind of focus or a pause on how the issue of immigrants and the current conditions that we live in now and that issue could be similar or not. Okay. And you're writing this to me. You're not, your fellow students aren't reading your opinions on this. I do want you to be writing in a kind of academically respectful way. You can have your own opinions, but it needs to be, something that, you could own up to if it was read out loud, right? Okay. So, just keep that in mind. In any case, I mention this because it can be a controversial topic, and I'm wanting you to write freely, just write respectfully. Okay, if that makes sense. And I think that's it. If you have any other questions, again, please let me know. I have to apologize. I feel like in these lectures I was a little bit more choppy, and maybe I might have been a little bit repetitive as well. So I want to apologize for that. If you need to get a hold of me, tomorrow I'm working a 10-hour shift. So tomorrow I'm just like shot. Now you can text me in the morning, and I can try to probably call you on my lunch break or text you back then, and then have like maybe an hour from like 7 to 8. But Tuesday I'll be wide open. I'll be working from home mainly. Okay, so I just thought I'd let you know that. So again, any questions, contact me. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you're gonna have a great week. And good luck with the workload this week. And I want you to think positive, hang in there, and push through. And you got this. Okay. All right.